things, such as ASMR ASMR, who I'm sure a lot of you are aware of, and Aussie ASMR Man. And so I would recommend both of those channels if you are looking for map related ASMR and you've somehow found your way to this video without knowing about who they are, which is pretty inconceivable. But in any case, today we're going to be looking at, or drawing rather, a map of the UK. Now, I'm going to draw using this black Sharpie, and then I've got this highlighter for rivers, because there's a few big rivers that I think, well, I'm only really going to do the estuaries of some of the main rivers, but I hope that's good enough. So, with that said, let me just adjust my setup here so it's a bit more easy for me to get round the mic and draw. Okay. So we're going to start up here at the top. I think we'll start with Scotland. So, yeah, I'm just gonna, as I say, it's not going to be the most detailed likeness in the world, but I hope you can appreciate that I am doing my best. Okay, so it then comes in sort of down here as such. Then we go back out a tiny bit and then back in. Tiny little bit more, I think. And then we have, goes back out for a fair distance here. And then sort of arches around. We have a little tiny jut out there, and then just creeps back in this way. And then a little bit out, like that. Comes back around, and then down. Then back out, down. So I'm going to mark it with a little insert there. That's about where the border of Scotland and England is. Then, thankfully and mercifully for me, it's not a very complicated road. There's a little jut out there. And then we come back as such. And we have a little jut there. So let me just pronounce that a little bit more so I know where I am. Okay. And then we come down a little bit and then back in slightly here. And then sort of down and then a little bit further out here. And we are now on the south coast. There we go. I would say if I could redo it, I would make this bit a little further out here. But oh well. Rome wasn't built in a day. sort of Land's End there, and then we're going to start to come back up. So let me get my bearings right. So it's got to come back up to level with here. Okay. And then goes a little bit past that point and then back in. And now we are in Wales. Shout out to anybody in Wales. We come up here. And we're going further west. And we don't quite get as far west as here. And then... yeah. Okay. I think maybe Scotland was slightly too big. But you get the idea, And we're gonna come up. And up and back around. This is actually quite nerve-wracking. Then we're gonna sort of back into England now. Getting to the part of the world that I'm from up here. Okay. And then up here goes a little bit out here. And then back in. And then back out. And we're back in Scotland. Shout out to anyone from Scotland. And we're coming further back east rather now. This part of the map is evil. Absolutely evil. That goes in quite a lot. And then I believe this is all connected. It comes, yeah it is. It's all connected to the mainland. Sort of comes down into like a little sort of finger type shape. Then we come back. Okay, I nearly lost where I was then. Okay. I don't believe. And then we just have a lot of sort of sticky out bits here. Yeah. And then we just go slightly higher than we were. And then sort of back across. Okay, so that is by no means perfect. capital city of England, which is London. And then from here, we've got the second biggest city, Birmingham, which is, I also believe, the name of a place is Alabama. Is there a Birmingham, Alabama? Down here is the capital of Wales, Cardiff. And we'll also, in Wales, put Swansea. I don't know if Swansea is the second biggest city in Wales. Okay, let's put some northern cities in. I'm gonna put, this is a bit of a sort of biased one, I guess, but this is my hometown, or city rather, which is Preston. Then we will put in two very large and very nice northern cities, which are Liverpool and Manchester. We have, in reality, it would be maybe about here, but we're going to have to do the best with what we have here. Around here, we have Newcastle upon Tyne. We will put in, what else should we put in? Manchester, I think it's about here. We have Leeds, which is a fairly big city. And then we'll do one more city. What city should that be? Let's go with Bristol. We'll do Bristol. Here we have the North Sea. And here we have the Irish Sea. And then I would put Ireland on here if I had the room, but I don't, so I apologise to anybody from Ireland, from Northern Ireland, especially because that is technically part of the UK. But around about here we have Ireland and Northern Ireland, and we would have in there probably Belfast and Lisbon and maybe Derry as the cities from there. So let's go to Scotland. I've been putting this off because I've absolutely butchered Scotland. If anybody is from Scotland, I do apologise, because I haven't done a great likeness of your country. It's far too fat in most places and not fat enough in others. Yeah, okay, let me just quickly, we'll do some rivers first. So here, just here, we have the River Mersey. Then from London all the way out, and it gets a little bit thicker the further out we get. That is the River Thames, which is, well, probably the most famous, well, definitely the most city of Preston. Okay, let me have a think about how I'm going to approach this, because yeah, I've cut Scotland up fairly badly. I think the border should be about here, but I did Scotland rather large, and I sort of realised that as I got down to here. As you can tell, I am not an artist by any means, and yeah, it's showing for sure. Okay, let's do it this way. We'll just pretend. Just have a vivid imagination and sort of pretend that this is where Edinburgh is. So it'd be about here. If I had a red pen, I would do it in that, because the capitals are usually red. That is Edinburgh, which is the capital. Over here, sort of, we have Glasgow. And then I guess we'll do well, it isn't really here. This should be a bit wider and a bit more pronounced coming back in, but oh well. Aberdeen is there. Yeah, okay. So I think I'll put some so that represents hilly area or land, and this is what's known as the Pennines, a very hilly area that runs down the middle of the UK. Let me just see if I can get a map that sort of shows relief. Yeah, okay. So whereabouts am I? And then it's, I guess, around that's quite hilly. And then if we have a look up here, there's an area here which is also quite hilly, and then we have a few here as well. Ideally I would have more space, more paper. I could maybe do it on an A3 sheet, or maybe even larger, but such are the constraints of a modest ASMR YouTuber. Okay, so well, I would say I'm happy with that. I'm not necessarily happy with the shape, but we did our best, and that's all that matters, right? We did our best. As I say, I've got a little bit of a, I guess, bias pick on here, which is Preston, which is where I'm from, in the county of Lancashire. If we look at counties, I did if you haven't already seen my maps video that I did, the map quizzes video, I did a UK counties quiz and I didn't do too bad. But yeah, up here in the county of Lancashire is where I live. Then obviously we have City of London, we have down here Essex, we have Norfolk over Merseyside, Greater Manchester, Nottinghamshire, Derbyshire, around sort of here. Yeah, I'll actually hang on. I think it's maybe a touch unfair to not have Nottingham, which is here, which is quite a big city. Okay, so there we have our map of the UK, or rather mainland UK. As I mentioned previously, to all of my abundance of Northern Irish fans, I do apologise. Maybe one day I will do a map of Northern Ireland just for you guys, because I've sort of omitted you here. But yeah, if you've made it this far, thank you ever so much for sticking with it, and thank you for watching. I hope this was relaxing, and I hope that you were able to wind down, perhaps after a bit of a stressful one. There's a lot going on at the moment, and that's part of the reason I like making these videos, is because I hope that at least somebody watching them can get a little bit of comfort and relaxation by listening to this and looking at the silly things that I'm getting up to. But yeah, as I say, mainly I'm just having fun, and I enjoy making content for you guys. Some of you have been very kind with your feedback and support as well, and to all of those people, your voices are heard, and I very much appreciate the very kind words. It really makes it worthwhile, even though I have a very modest following. I'm very happy and proud of the fact that I get some very nice comments on my videos, so thank you. But with that said, thank you ever so much for watching. I love you all.